Turkish President Erdogan asserts that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will be tried as a war criminal, labeling him the butcher of Gaza. Speaking at the OIC Economic Ministerial Conference, Erdogan declares Turkey's readiness to be a guarantor country for peace talks between Israel and Palestine.
When the perpetrator is Muslim, they create a lot of noise, but today, as Israel is carrying out violence in a merciless way, they turn a blind eye. As a result of Israeli attacks, the physical victims may be the Palestinians. By giving support to that oppression or by keeping silent, every person who is taking side with Israel, country or institution, the ideologies or their contracts, agreements, or their declarations of principles are now destroyed. So many innocent people were killed, and by keeping silent or with the excuse of Hamas, those who try to legitimize these killings have no longer even a single word that they can say about humanity. Yes, even though we know the hypocrisy that lies behind it, we still had the hope that it could serve the joint interests of humanity, but the whole 20th century design is collapsing in front of our very eyes. And despite all of it, we can only say a pity, because the closure of every era or the building of a new one, so the following few years will be full of many risks and a lot of pain and suffering.
Erdogan warns against the invasion of Gaza, suggesting that those doing so today may attempt to invade other places in the future. Human rights organizations sue the Netherlands over supplying F-35 fighter parts. The case argues that providing these parts contributes to international law violations in Gaza. F-35 parts stored in a Dutch warehouse are shipped to partners including Israel. Oxfam Novib, among the plaintiffs, claims the export implicates the Netherlands in war law violations and civilian population punishment in Gaza. Human rights lawyer 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐷 states that these planes are actively used for aerial bombardments and ground troop assistance in Gaza. A verdict in the case is expected in about 2 weeks. Gaza's health ministry accuses Israel of deliberately targeting hospitals to disable them, creating a circle of death for Palestinians. Health ministry spokesperson Ashraf Al-Qudra claims intentional bombing disrupts medical services, impacting medical workers, the displaced, and the wounded. Several areas with displaced Palestinians, including Salahuddin School and a crowded square, are reportedly bombed by Israel. Remaining operational hospitals struggle to handle the influx of dead bodies, according to Munir Al-Barsh, Director General of Gaza's Health Ministry. The alleged deliberate targeting of medical facilities raises concerns about the humanitarian impact on the already vulnerable population in Gaza. Jeremy Corbyn, former head of the UK's Labour Party, describes the Gaza conflict as Israeli expansion at the expense of the Palestinian people. He condemns the resumption of Israeli attacks after temporary ceasefires as abominable and appalling. Corbyn, the MP for Islington North, calls for an immediate ceasefire, emphasizing civilian casualties. When asked about Israel's objective, he points to a larger plan to expel Palestinians from Gaza, foreseeing population displacement to Sinai through Rafah crossing. He criticizes this move, predicting the creation of another troubled region. Corbyn believes settlements will follow, turning Gaza into another hellhole. He characterizes the conflict as a war for Israeli expansion, criticizing the global community for overlooking the reality of the situation.